What's up, guys? Back again. Today I got another product review for you. I know some people are tired of the product reviews, and I hear people saying, thought this was a filmmaking channel, not a gear channel. When are we going to learn about filmmaking? Soon, I promise, soon. But I had a couple of these that I had obligations to do, and they're over now for the most part, except my short film, because I still have to finish that. A lot of people are saying, why is it taking so long to finish a 10-minute film? It's because I have to do all the post-production myself because I don't have the money to pay others to do it on this project. Some projects are funded, this one is not. So I have to do all that myself, and that just means time. So, with that being said, let's roll that bumper and get to the video. So right off the top, I have to start with full disclosure again. This was sent to me by Andycine for review, but as you can tell by my last video, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. I'm pretty honest, even though when people give me free stuff, because I have to be. If you guys don't believe me, this means nothing, because then I'm just a shill and I'm just doing things for free stuff. That's not what I want to become. So with that out of the way, the monitor I had been using prior to this was actually another Andycine product, the Andycine A6, which I really did enjoy. Little 5-inch monitor, got buttons on the top. It's kind of got a iffy battery mount, but other than that, a pretty good monitor for the price. But the upgrades made to the new model, the Andycine A6 Plus, are remarkable. First off, let's take a view from the top. Gone are all of these 8 buttons. There's no buttons. There's one dial and one button, a power button and a dial. This actually works as another button. You can actually push it. So there's 2 buttons, but only 2 physical things on the top. So how do they get around that? For one button to turn it on. Okay, great. So now what? There's no buttons. Well, we got touchscreen on this one, and that's awesome. Now, touchscreens grab the headlines, but there's obviously other upgrades as well. Gone is this clunky trimming at the top that makes it feel much plasticky and cheaper. Gone is this really bad battery mount that before I thought was going to break all the time. The new one is reinforced and can even run some Canon batteries instead of just the NPF style. You can also power it off a DCI plug. Now what you'll see here is a 1920 by 1080 panel, which is awesome, but it can take a 4K signal. I've heard it can't take 4K 60, but with my GH5 that's recording on, this is only the G7, it seemed to handle 4K 60 just fine. Maybe the GH5 is doing some inner processing. I'm not sure. I'm not enough of a monitor geek to know things about that. Monitor geek is not a bad thing. Any kind of geek is awesome. So let's check out a couple of the commands. To get the backlight to turn up and down, you just on the right side of the screen, scroll down and scroll up to adjust the brightness. You don't have to click through menus anymore to adjust the backlights, you just have to do that. It has audio monitoring as well. If you plug your headphones in, if you go to the left side here, you can turn the volume up and down doing the same thing. Now, how do you get into your presets? Everything's got a preset, right? Well, it's just like a phone. You just drag up, bam, there's your presets. You want your false color on? Boom, you got false color. You want to turn it off? Bam, it's off. You want focus assist? Bam, there you are. You can see that little glitter. You probably can't see it. Off. You want a histogram? Boom, you hit the histogram button. You hit anywhere on the screen. You got a histogram down here. Slide back up, turn it off. It's got an audio meter. Like I said before, boom, you turn it on. You hit the screen anywhere on it, that's where your audio meter is. Now, let's say you want to change these presets. You scroll up, let's turn off the audio meter. Oh, I have my flips turned, so let's say I wanted to flip this monitor this way, it would be upside down. So I have my flips as well turned on the preset. So now I can just flip this around, bam. And with it being the other way, you'd be like, well, don't you have to scroll from the top now? No, it recognizes that that's the bottom now, and bam, that's all you have to do. So let's say you want to change a preset. It's very easy. You just double click on the preset you want to change, and then hit the arrows to hit something else. Let's say I just want to see monochrome. So then I hit anywhere on the screen to get rid of it. Scroll up, hit the monochrome, select what kind of monochrome you want, bam, you got black and white. That easy. Now I'm going to turn it off because I like a little color in my life. Now I'm sorry if I'm starting to sound like an infomercial because I'm very high energy right now, but I'm just very excited at what I can do with this monitor, and I didn't think I would get these features at this price point. Now to access everything that's not on your presets, you double tap the screen and your menu button comes up. Let's see, we got histogram, focus assist, audio meter, zebra, monochrome, false color on the top one. The next one is safety marker, center marker, marker matte, marker color. The next one, scan mode, video aspect, anamorphic, flipped vertical, flipped horizontal, zoom times, freeze, and pixel to pixel. Then you have LUT switch. I'll get more into LUTs later. You have LUT import, you have color temperature, you have backlight, brightness, contrast, saturation, and hue. The next one is the wheel backlight, language, transparency, OSD time, volume, reset, and firmware update. And of course, the back button. Another really cool touchscreen feature is, let's say you're trying to hit focus and you want to zoom in. It's just like a phone. Pinch and drag to zoom in, and do the same to zoom back out. That's a really cool feature to me because it's something we all instinctually already do. So let's talk about LUTs. I'm a person who really likes shooting in log, but a lot of the directors that I've worked for when I'm not directing the film myself, they want to see what's going to be on camera, so they don't like to see that flat image. So it's nice to be able to program LUTs into your monitor or your camera. So my camera supports LUTs, but let's say yours didn't. This does. All you would have to do is there's an SD card slot down here. You put your LUTs on there and you upload them from the SD card. Now, if you don't have any LUTs, there is LUTs already built into the monitor. If you double click the screen and hit that little GRB, obviously standing for RGB, red, green, and blue, and go up here to the top where it says LUT switch and turn that on, now you can cycle through the LUTs that are on this already. There's S-Log2, S-Log3, Logic, V-Log, which is handy for me because normally I'm shooting in V-Log, and I find that very handy. And like I said before, if you were to import your LUTs, they would be right in that section right there that says LUT import. But right now I'm not shooting in log because the camera that I'm using the monitor with does not support log, so I'm going to turn off the LUTs. Another cool upgrade over the previous version is with this one, when you plugged your monitor into your camera, that's basically all you have. So you had your on-camera monitor, but you couldn't send to another monitor because there's no monitor out. With this one, there is. So now you can take your monitor in from the camera and send it out to like a Teradek, so that way you can send it to a video village and bam, you can monitor everything. So now getting into some of the technical side, I didn't find the nit reading to see how bright it goes. The only thing I found is something that says 500 CD over M squared. So if you know what that means, that's how bright this goes. I have no idea what that means. For me in real world use, I'm having no problems in studio where I'm blasting light into it. I did have a little bit of a problem in sunlight, but I just had to put a hood on it and it wasn't too much of an issue. They do include a hood with the monitor too, so it's not something you have to buy extra. Speaking of things that come with the monitor, this time they included a really sturdy case. Last time they didn't include that, and they also included a Sony NPF small battery to power the monitor, so you don't have to buy that either. Again, the resolution is 1920 by 1080 on this IPS touchscreen, and it has a viewing angle of 170 degrees, so basically anywhere in front of the camera, you'll be able to see this monitor. Another cool thing about the monitor is it can power some DSLR and mirrorless cameras. You can go to the Andycine website to see which ones it'll power. And I was never fully impressed with the monitors I saw for DSLR and mirrorless cameras. I always thought that it was the manufacturers trying to get the price down low enough at the cost of a little bit of delay. Come to find out, the culprit for it is the HDMI port. Now, something like an SDI port can get you pretty darn close, which is why cinema cameras have SDI ports instead of HDMI ports, or at least one of the reasons. So now let's do a quick latency test just to show you, and I'll just throw my hand in front of the camera and you'll see it here. So, whoop. So it's actually not too bad for an HDMI ported monitor. That being said, it also would be tough to pull focus on it, but you could do it, and I have seen it done before. So a monitor like this could easily sell for $400, $450. But the cool thing is this monitor is only $230. That's $230 for a monitor that can take 4K, that outputs at 1080, and is a touchscreen. That's a win for me. And like DSLR Video Shooter, who has a video on this exact monitor that's a little more detailed than this one probably is, this is my favorite budget monitor that I've ever seen, that I've ever had, and I've seen a lot of them. And it just doesn't have as many flaws. It does have some flaws, and these are the flaws that I see with it. It's still built out of plastic, so if you drop it, it's probably going to break. It's still not as bright as some of the really high-end monitors, but at the price, it's kind of hard to judge them on that. And with a touchscreen monitor, sometimes when people's greasy fingers get all over the monitor, it can kind of make it hard to see in certain light. But other than that, it's a pretty respectable monitor. I'm very happy with it. I'm excited to see what else I can get out of it and see if I can learn anything else. If there's anything I forgot to mention, or if there's anything that I learned that's good or bad, I will let you know in future videos. Sorry to interrupt the video real quick, guys, but I started editing the video and realized that I got so wrapped up in the touchscreen qualities, I forgot to tell you what the two buttons on the top did. I broke everything down, so I'm just going to have to show you with nothing plugged into the monitor. So the buttons on the top, here they are. I never use them. That is why I forgot about them. But let's say you didn't want touchscreen on. If you push this top button once, touchscreen off. You push it again, touchscreen on. Well, if the touchscreen's on, how do I access my presets? Well, to do that, even with touchscreen on, you can push down the wheel and scroll through, push the wheel again to access it, and so forth. And yeah, that's what these buttons do. Back to your regularly scheduled program. So that's all I got for you today. If you got any questions about this monitor, go ahead and hit me up in the comments below. If you feel like being a jerk, had a bad day, just want to vent, you can do that down there too, as long as you direct it at me and not this community. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that button over there. If you like what I do here, consider subscribing. Hit that button over there, hit the bell, as long as you remember. This isn't a competition. Let's all rise in this business together. See you next time.